Hello, how are you?
I'm okay.
There's a dog barking in the distance,
Yeah.
like a horror movie. So what's going on?
Not much. Tired today.
Yeah, because you're up having a conversation with someone at 12:30 in the morning, thinking it was 2:30.
Yeah. And then up every hour after that.
I was wondering why you are so chatty. It's not usually a chatty time.
Because I thought it was 2:30.
You
I'm
sure
like,
did.
why are you coming to bed so late?
Even that's, let's be honest, that's not chatty time either.
2:30 is when I start waking up. Legit, I wake up almost every day at 2:30. So I
Crazy.
do try to get myself back to sleep
That is crazy.
because I won't get out of bed before like at that time. But that's why I thought it was 2:30 because that's my normal waking up time. It was not.
No, hours and hours of time left.
So I didn't realize it until 1:30, and I'm like, wait a second, something's wrong here.
Clock is broken. Did you think that at first?
No,
Clock?
no, I immediately thought, oh, I must have misread the time the first time.
Because I would have thought that.
Hmm.
I would have been like, oh man, my clock's broken. And then my brain would have caught up and been like, no, dummy. Well, sorry you're so tired.
It's all good.
That person's dog's still barking. Those are irresponsible dog owners right there.
Yeah.
Someone should have a word with them. Perhaps take the dogs away from them.
Oh, that would be lovely. Please do. Yes.
To jump on that.
I'm okay having one less dog for sure.
Yeah, we're a two-dog family. We aren't really responsible enough for a two-dog family, but we were in a groove. And then we decided to throw a very cute atomic bomb in that mix. She is the cutest of the three.
I tried laying down. I was just so exhausted. It's just been a stressful, long day. And so I tried laying down, and I always have the blankets completely up to my neck and then a pillow over my face. So I have just a little breathing hole. Well, little puppy filled my breathing hole today.
Yeah.
But she was so sweet 'cause she just put, like, she must have known something was wrong. She just put her face there. She did lick me a few times, which I hate. I don't get people who let their dogs lick their face. I just don't.
I can't say it's my favorite, but it's mainly because I've seen all of them eat poo at one point in time. And so that stays with you. And I don't need poo face.
Yeah, I don't. But anyway, she did lick me a couple of times, but then went back. Oh, Sunny had come because she was on the bed. The puppy brought her bone onto the bed, but then she stopped to come check on me.
And
And she did leave because the other dog had jumped up on the bed and took the toy. That makes sense why Pepper started barking, as
Pepper's a
in,
narc.
hey, that's not your toy.
Pepper's
So
a
I
big time narc.
give her a little kick because she was at my
Pepper?
feet. Well, she was at my feet. I'm like,
Barking.
stop barking.
Ah,
Just a little nudge.
little, hey, I don't
Stop
like that.
barking. But now that I think about it,
She's
she's
being
trying to
McGruff.
protect the
She was being
puppy.
McGruff the crime dog.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sunny is a little less disturber sometimes.
but then the gnawing on this bone, like 3 feet away from it. So I just got up and went and made dinner
My favorite trick is when they get the loudest toy they can and constantly put it in their mouth and drop it
on the
on the hardwood
hardwood. Yeah.
right above my desk when I'm working. And I don't know if at some point in time I shared my team's calendar with them or something, but they know precisely when I'm going on a call. Precisely. Like clockwork. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's loud.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
Yeah.
There's somewhere in the house the other day they were barking, and it was like we're in an echoey chamber because it was so
It
loud.
was a prison of our own design.
We have a huge gong in the hallway. Like, what is it? Like 3 feet by
Yeah.
3 feet, probably bigger even.
No, I'd say 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah, it's pretty big. But when they do anything around that, it's so loud. It echoes everything. But even just their tail hitting it,
Repeatedly.
it's loud.
Yeah.
And then if they bark next to it, oh my gosh.
The puppy has an active tail too.
Yeah.
Very active.
Yeah.
I don't know what dum dum decides we need a third dog, but someone needs to have a word with them.
Well, it's your fault. That's all I'm
Mm.
saying. It is. You send me information. We talked about this the other day. You send me information. What did you say? Oh, I didn't think you were going to do it. Yes, you send me cool information. I'm going to act immediately on
That's
it.
not true. That's not true because I send you cool information and if you don't like it, you think I'm dumb.
If I think it's cool,
Right. That's the problem. But that's a swinging scale for you. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not.
you would have known. You knew the Thailand, and he sent me a trip to. Oh, look, trips to Thailand, really cheap. Well, I booked that night.
Sure did. Sure did.
Oh, somebody's selling Bernie's puppies. I know you love, like, you know these things. It's your own fault.
Trust me, I'm very well aware of my faults and what mistakes I've made. Very well aware. And that four-legged wonder is one of them. But she's a sweetheart. So, and I think she's imprinted on us. She can't leave, unfortunately.
Is there anything else you regret forwarding me that I acted upon?
No, I say the dog's probably it. It's a short list. It's a short list. Because the second dog, you initiated that on your own
Yeah.
from the island.
Drove a very long way
Yeah.
from Victoria to, well, Comox to Edmonton.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a jaunt. Well, yeah, it was a jaunt. No, I can't really think of anything offhand. I think the rest of them all worked out.
I'm either quick to decide or no decision at all.
Or you just don't answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. Those are probably the ones I regret the most. Like, oh, this could have been a conversation. The texts and stuff that go somewhere. Yeah, that's a regret. That's always a regret. I got a question for you.
All right.
Yeah,
What's
that's
your
right.
question?
We've talked about the need for kids to not be amused all the time, right? But I saw in there's a guy, a Harvard professor, Arthur Clarke, I think his name is. Anyways, he's got a little video that I watched that was interesting, but it was about boredom and how everybody needs to be bored because it actually unlocks creativity. We've talked about it in the context of kids, but what it got me thinking of was, what are your thoughts on boredom? Pretty much, I know the answer to that, but how can families introduce boredom as a means of resetting and fostering creativity? And then, because I think to me, what got me thinking about it is it feels like it's a modeling behavior,
Yeah.
right? Like we talk about how it's okay for kids to be bored and figure it out, but how do we actually model that to get our benefits ourselves as parents?
So what do you think my thoughts are on boredom?
I think you're pro boredom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're pro boredom because it means no phones for the most part.
And I have lots of my own episodes on this very topic, more scientific and academic and why we need to promote it.
So that basically makes me a genius expert in science.
So I will put that in the show notes if you want more deep dive into boredom. But it's true, we do. And even, boredom, like there's the creativity piece, but I would say even emotion management, boredom is really important.
He mentions that.
Ah,
Yeah.
look at that.
You're like
I'm as smart as a Harvard professor.
I think you're probably smarter, but continue.
Yeah, so there's so many benefits with boredom.
Okay, so walk through what the emotional benefits are.
The biggest thing is distress tolerance. And it's so funny because just today I was doing an assessment interview with parents, and it's two sets, like the mom and her new spouse and the dad and his new spouse. So four parents in, who two of them at least had ADHD, and we're both talking about how painful boredom is. Like literally painful. And they were talking about their kid too, how painful it is. And we've created this quick fix society. I feel pain, take an Advil. We got to fill that gap. And here it's boredom. We are so overstimulated with screens. We don't know what to do. It's uncomfortable and even painful if we are not stimulated constantly.
Oh, interesting.
And so from an emotion regulation standpoint, it's being able to manage discomfort, which is the same thing with anxiety, right? If we feel anxious, we want to do anything to relieve that anxiety. We'll drink, we will take Xanax, we will avoid the situation altogether, right? Whereas in any big emotion, we're just suppressing or avoiding. And so part of it is being able to face it and sit in it with it. And so boredom is a great example of that. And yes, boredom does. That's where, I mean, our brains have two modes, right? There's the default mode where it actually likes to be and should be there 50% of the time. And then the task positive mode, right? So the default mode is the mind wandering, right? And we've talked before, just, our good ideas. It doesn't come when we're trying to come up with an idea. It comes when our brain is wandering, when we're going for a walk or we're in the shower or whatever. But people are so stimulated, like even when we go for a walk in the morning, everybody that we pass is wearing headphones. There's a woman this morning, she's got her headphones in. Like we're just constantly, even when we're out in nature walking, we're just constantly bombarded with
Yeah.
information. So the brain never has a chance to go into that default mind wandering mode. And that's where flow is. That's where creativity and ideas and thinking and all of those things.
So how would someone introduce, like, I'm assuming you can structure boredom or structure downtime. So how would you do that? Obviously, no screens, like get rid of your phone,
Yeah,
right?
that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Screens, right? We don't need to overschedule our children so much. That's another problem.
But I think it's also, I'm talking about the parents as well, right? Like I 100% agree. No screens, don't need to overschedule them. But think of the last time you or I were trying to, and we've talked about it in the past, but we fill almost every waking moment with something. So how do we start structuring it so that we ourselves either introducing it to take care of ourselves or modeling to kids what they should be doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I always say, like with the cell phone, treat it like another person. Would you take another person into the bathroom with you? No. So, right. But people do take
Yeah.
their phone in and whatever. So it's looking for those moments. But no, I think it does come from a modeling perspective. But also, I was just doing the nitty
Yeah.
gritty.
Right.
How do we structure the kids' day?
Yeah.
So I will get to the model.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it starts with us in terms of how we're filling their day. And it's not our job to fill their time all the time. And parents do that. And that's how they fall into screens because they're like, well, I got to make dinner. I got to shower. So I got to keep them busy. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a perfect opportunity to let them explore and discover. That's where curiosity is. And curiosity is the butt of happiness and critical thinking and anxiety management. Like I could go on and on about that. So you don't need to at all.
Yeah.
Maybe you're creating an environment where, it's safe enough for them to go explore. Maybe there's materials that they can go explore with. But even, I literally would be able to figure out something with a stick and a rag when I was a kid, right? Or go into the forest and just do whatever. So there are those pieces as well. You could have just, I mean, we always had done this when they were little, is just our alone time.
Mm-hmm.
You do whatever you want. I'm not filling that. That is your time to go figure it out. And the girls would. I mean, we had a whole shelf of craft stuff. So they would go and do crafts, they would read, they would play, they would do whatever. They would figure it out. And so making sure that you're kind of structuring that. But that alone time is also great time for you to go do, like, make it a screen free, a audiobook free, device free
Just distraction,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's just it, creating that time. But also for us, I mean, I know for me, the hour before a game, I always will have a computer or I'll always have a screen, before they have a game. But then in that game, I'm there in
Yeah.
the game. But I know like that could be a time, right? Those little times, like, well, when we walk, we don't have any headphones or devices. Like we're there often in just silence,
Mm-hmm.
just it's pitch black out. We're just trying to keep from getting knocked over with the dogs. But looking for those moments too. What can you do without that screen? Even if you're still going to do something, do it without the screen. Can you brush your teeth without, like, looking for those moments and where you're only focusing on the one task at hand?
And I would say continuing on that, find some little moments where you can control. Like one of the things I've started to do a bit more is if I'm driving somewhere and it's just me, I'll turn everything off.
Mhm.
Like everything, like it's quiet. And that's not normal. Like I usually have music or I have an audiobook or something, but it's the same thing of This is 20 or 30 minutes where all I need to do is not crash into something, right? I can literally just drive and not have to think about anything.
Understanding the function, like why are you turning on a podcast or why are you picking up your phone? Being intentional and purposeful, that's important. Every time, and I would talk out loud. Why am I picking up my phone right now? I need to check this one email and then I'm going to put it away, right? But I think we mindlessly do. And so that's going to be, because I'm just thinking of the car.
Hmm.
I have to have an audiobook. I have to. But it's not because I'm bored or that I need to fill the time. It's because otherwise I will have a heart attack from road rage. I get so frustrated with other drivers. So I guess there is some management in there, but it just makes the drive more pleasant. So when I get to my location, I'm a little bit more level-headed. But I guess there's some emotion regulation stuff there that I could definitely work on. But for me, like one place that I'm really working on is when I'm eating, is not having, because it's so easy to quickly check email or to do my Duolingo, but I'm really trying to be purposeful. I'm just eating.
Yeah.
And so, like, those are ways that we can, I mean, really, it's just detaching from screens and giving ourselves time to mind wander and just explore, right?
The
So,
big thing for me that's been relatively new over the past few weeks is you've done it for a long, long time, is the no screens. Like I used to use my phone as my alarm clock. So it was rationalization to bring it into the bedroom. But then over time you get used to, well, yeah, I'll just check one more thing or I'll just read one more thing. And so I've stopped doing that for a better part of a month now. I'll set my alarm for my phone because my phone controls the alarm I have in my room, but it's one of those light ones. So it just, but I can set it with the app, but then I leave it. I leave it downstairs where it should be, and then I go upstairs. And it does, it makes a huge difference. Like the last thoughts I have are not frantic. And the bigger benefit is I'm not waking up and immediately diving into emails or all that stuff, right? So for me, it's, yeah, it's finding those moments that I can control what is being put upon me, right? And that's a big one for sure.
and I think creating the space, like I love our front room so much. It's so cozy, it's so warm and welcoming. And I will just go in there and just sit.
Yeah.
I will sometimes have a book, but sometimes I love just going in and just sitting and just being there. And our walls are covered with pictures, and
Yep.
I might look at pictures or, but just having that time where and so it is. And not just doing it, if you want to model this for kids, like say that I'm just going to go sit in the front room. I'm
Yep.
giving my brain a break because it does need a break
100% does.
from everything, but it really does start with the screen detox and being able to sit with the discomfort of, because our kids do have withdrawal symptoms.
Totally.
And so it's just being able to be able to ride that wave of that discomfort.
Yeah, I think that's a great point is start with the screen and then from there branch out to what is being forced upon you that takes up energy and space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I always think of it like the ads in a bathroom. Like you go into a men's bathroom in a bar and it's nothing but advertisements and some of them are video screens. And it's like, you know, refrigerators now are having ads forced through them onto their screens, right? Like, so every opportunity that the outside world has to try and take away that attention or create that noise, they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to try and figure out a way to consciously avoid that and just see what happens, right? And for some people it's not an issue, like they don't care. But as I get older, I don't have the brain capacity or the ability to filter it as much as I normally thought I would have.
Yeah. Well, I think I've said it before, actually, even recently, one of the CEO, like I think it was Netflix or something, who's like, our only competitor is sleep. And they do. Every manufacturer of a screen or an app or a game or anything, I mean, they want you on it 24/7 and to stimulate you. And they're tapping into that part of the brain that needs to be stimulated. So I mean, we've talked a lot about that, but yeah, it's just creating that space. And we don't have to call it's boredom time. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do that because
No,
then it's like, right. Yeah, we don't want to have a negative connotation, but it is the chance for our brain because we're losing that capacity really fast. And now with AI, like people just aren't thinking anymore. And it's really scary.
yeah.
And, just like even to craft, like, yeah, just everything. We're just losing our capacity to.
More start to
problem solve,
volley.
think critically. Well, that's what I keep thinking of. Like we're like that's gonna fast become a documentary.
Well, and I think a lot of it, like when you talk about AI and you talk about all this stuff, those are all great tools, but you have to be conscious of how you're using them, right? And once it's the default or once you don't have control about that initiating that interaction, that's when the problem starts, right? Because I love AI, right? Like you and I both use it for things and it's great at certain things, but I am very aware that I don't want to lose the ability to write things on my own and think things through on my own, but it's helpful in certain situations to speed things up. So it's about understanding that as well. And then also understanding, do you really need to rely on it in that situation? Right. Like one of the craziest things is Google's lunch is being eaten by AI. ChatGPT is being turned to as a search engine by more and more people every day, which is great. Like I can see how that's a functional piece, but again, it's expediting that instant gratification for what you need, even more so than what Google did, because it'll tailor it and present it in a different way. So you just got to think about that, right? Like what are you giving your attention span up to, or your
Mhm.
your ability to focus up to, and how do you maintain control? And then be aware of what your kids are doing as well, right? You got to think about all the times that the kids are having it presented to them where you don't know that it's happening. It makes the other times even more important to pull away.
Yeah, for sure.
So there, that's it.
Cool
It's a
beans.
boring episode.
Wasn't
See what I
boring.
did there? See that? Yeah.